we are to follow the law of God, we should also be able to look at the historical context of things that are in the scriptures and ask, how did the holy nation conduct herself with the guidance of the law that God had given to them? What is the purpose of the marriage? And what are the legislations or the prescriptions of God in the Bible concerning marriage? When we enact legislations now, we have to consult also what God had said, because if we construct legal frameworks that violate the design of God, one day we'll come back again and say, we made mistakes and our society has gone rogue, and we have to make corrections and come back to where God was waiting for us. So the legal age to marriage was designed to protect children from abuse and also provide children with a chance to grow up to maturity so that they can have a chance and an opportunity to face their future and make decisions, for example, for themselves, what kind of life they want to live, and so forth. But we now have a situation where parents who are handing over their daughters into marriage are now saying to those who are asking their children for permission, I want to marry your daughter. Like a man comes to me, says, he wants to marry my daughter. We now have marriage ceremonies where the father says, I want you to pay dowry equivalent to the school fees I paid for my daughter. And so that's a problem. And our society has become so greedy that nobody sees anything wrong in that. These same women who demand equal treatment between them and women and men do not demand equality on this platform to say, who will pay you for the school fees you paid for the boy child? Because when the boy child is getting married, he is the one who pays. If it is about equality, who will pay to compensate parents for the school fees they paid for their boy child? If marriage is about gaining, recouping your expenses while raising a child. So my daughter knows that when she gets married, I don't want to get even with my son-in-law. Because paying school fees for my daughter was my natural obligation. Nobody should pay me a cent for that. But that gives us again another problem. Who should decide what career the girl child should follow? Who should make a bigger contribution? The parents who raised this girl or the man she's going to live with for the rest of her life? Your parents choose that you do economics. Your husband is a farmer. He wants you to do agriculture. What happens if when you get married, your husband says, I don't want economics in my house. Surrender your degree certificate to your parents since they are the ones who paid for it. When you come to my house, I want to hear nothing about economics. What is the purpose of sending a girl child to university? Yes, I know it's very controversial, but let's have this discussion. What is the purpose? Because the greater part of the life that the girl child shall live, she shall spend the rest of her life not with her parents, but with a husband who, according to the structure of the marriage, listen to me, the man is the head of the family. He decides how the family is run. The woman has no responsibility that requires financial burdens to be placed upon her. In the duties of a woman prescribed in the Bible, there is not one verse in the Bible where the woman has a financial bill to pay, whether she's in her father's house or she's in her husband's house. There are no bills for a woman to pay. Zero. I know some of you have challenges and you are trying to fix things. You are helping each other with your wife. We have spoken about it and we said it's okay for you to work together, provided there's a plan that one day the man will take up all the responsibilities to himself. We are Gentiles, remember? We didn't hear these things many years ago. They are coming now. We need time to make adjustments. So we don't have a problem if you are helping each other with your wife as of now. Let me be clear. I said it before so that you don't get angry for nothing. It's an anomaly, but provided you are working towards correcting it, you can still continue to help each other and work and go to work together, husband and wife, provided the man is making plans to rescue the situation and bring it to normalcy. That's what we said. We said we give you 2 years up to 5, I think. You can't do this forever now unless you are a momo. Right. I have a girl child in the house. I also have a son. My daughter knows this very well. If I can afford to send them to school, both of them, they can go to school and she can go to university. But if a man comes to ask for a hand in marriage before she goes to university, after high school, but she is matured enough to get married, what are the reasons for me to say no? My daughter must go and finish a degree and then you will marry her later. Who wants to benefit from this degree? Degree rida ubatirani. Imimi ere baba vemwana na amai nemukadzi wenyu kana kuti ruda kunobatsira mukwasha. He's smiling. Feel free to smile. If you want to smile, feel free. Can you have a tete-a-tete for a minute about this? Do a tete-a-tete. Do a tete-a-tete. Do a tete-a-tete. Bvunza kuti degree iri riri kuda kubatsirani nderani. Who wants to benefit from this degree? Listen to me. Listen to me. We studied about Shaka Zulu, The king of the Zulu people here in South Africa, when we were doing history, we were told that his soldiers were not allowed to marry until they retired from the army at the age of 40. And that history, if you study it further, it also says that when they attained 40, retired from the army, they would go back and marry virgins who were between 16 to 19 years old. And they would marry, each one of them would marry a minimum of 2 wives. By the time he arrives, he reaches 45, he'll be having not less than 10 children. Yes. Quick, 3, 4, 5 wives. Now, there is a scientific academic paper that has been released. Listen to me. There's an academic paper that has been released that the quality of personality traits that a child is born with depends, among other things, it means what I'm saying is not conclusive. There are other factors. It also depends on the quality of the health of the parents giving birth to that child. For example, the prime time for a man to give birth to strong children, strong sons and daughters, is between 0 to 45. After 45, the strength of his genetic characteristics, it goes down. It becomes less and less important, especially after 50 years. Between 40 and 50, it's relative. But the peakest is from the time he's able to be a father up to about 45 to 50. On the contrary, the prime time for women to give birth to the best personality traits in the children they give birth is between 16 and 25. This is why this is scientific. You can't argue with science. You can go and research it to corroborate it. Some studies say it's 16 to 26, but let's say on average it's 16 to 26. It's 25 to 26. What it means is a woman who gives birth at 38 does not give birth to a child who is as strong as a woman who gives birth at 18. The quality of the person born is affected. We do that. Those who do breeding of animals, you know that, right? If you want to breed or to generate a new breed of animals, you take a tsiru, ndora muno is inseminate, inseminate more. Yane 7 years ichibereka. Kana to 4 years ichibereka. Even a dog, as it grows older, it gives birth to weaker puppies. This is why those who breed dogs, they have a certain age within which a male dog contributes, or they take seed from that dog to make the other female dogs pregnant. To harvest the best quality of dog breeds, the years or the age of the parent animals, it matters. So from the historical context of Israel, the age of maturity of the girl child was 16. 16-year-old girl was ready to get married. Now, in our normal present-day educational systems, that is around the time the child is graduating from high school to going to university. about 16 to 18, depending on the education system of each and every country, but relatively all nations between 16 and 18 years, the children will be going to university if they were not disturbed in their education from birth. So if we say 16 to 18, we are talking about with the laws of the land. France, the age to marriage, I think it's 16 as well as Britain and many other countries. But when they talk about civilization, they blame Africa for not being civilized on other issues. But on certain issues, they are quiet because they are also found not doing as much as we do or better than us. And when they see that we are doing things better than them, they are quiet. They try to find things that we are making mistakes on, and they capitalize on that. But to be honest with you, the majority of European countries, their legal age of marriage is 16, not 18. Now, like in South Africa, it's 16, not 18 again. For example, if parents in South Africa refuse to consent that a 16-year-old gets married, the girl can apply to the Minister of Home Affairs. And the Minister of Home Affairs can grant consent which the parents have refused if it is in the best interest of the child. Now I'm talking about the law. These are not sentiments. Those story poisons. Mwana musikana akati ndauda kuroorwa nyange ndine 16 vabereki vangu varamba anogona kukumbira Minister of Home Affairs akaroorwa vabereki vake vasingade. But that is not a marriage according to the scriptures. No woman can get married without the consent of her father. It's impossible. It's not a marriage. But we are talking about the civil marriage. That's the law we are talking about. So you must understand that some of these things I'm talking about what national laws are saying. But when I refer to the law of God, I'll tell you. So there are two questions. The first question is, what is the reason behind the girl child wanting to get married at 25, 26, 30? What does she want to do with these years? One of the things that people argue about is university. She has to go to university. Then the second question is, for what? Who needs that degree? If parents are crazy about university, why not have many sons and send them to university for the good of their family? But this woman does not have anything she will contribute to her father's family. She's going to be somebody's wife. And she will contribute into her matrimonial family or her married family. She's going to be useful to her husband to expand her husband's family. So Rachel and Leah contributed nothing in Laban's house. They became useful to Jacob's family. So between Laban and Jacob, who must decide which degree Rachel and Leah should do? Kana akaita degree iroro ramuri kuda kuti aite, obva aroorwa gore raagraduata, chamuchawana imimi pazviri chii? The arguments are, things are tough. What happens if her husband dies? She needs to be able to take care of the children when the husband dies. I have a question to such people who raise such an argument. It goes like this: are you Boko Haram? Because if you are not Boko Haram, why are you preparing for your husband's death? The idea that it's your husband who will die first. Why are you so sure if you are not Boko Haram? Clap hands for Jesus. Asi pamunobika muri kukuira futi mabhodhoro. Nekuti kana musiri kukuya mabhodhoro muchiisa muchikafu chamunobikira murume wenyu. Why are you sure that he will die first? Vane sure, amenoti pastor munozviziva here. Vakadzi vari so sure kuti murume ndiye achatanga kufa. Women are so sure that it's my husband who will die first. But it's witchcraft, Pastor Baloi. Our women have become witches. You are a witch. Pastor Baloi, comment on this matter.
It's interesting, but yeah, this is what the society has become. When we were growing up, we used to hear such things and also to also observe when you're making such discussions, it seems men are going to die first. And in all these arguments, even in this auditorium, I think that mentality is also there.
Yeah, we have a question and answer.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll continue with this matter. But let me present the case as it is.
Okay.
Now, we are going back to the standards of God. And those who are going to watch my videos, you need to understand that my teachings do not apply to the whole world. They only apply to the children of God. So if you are not a child of God, don't complain. It wasn't meant for you. Go back to Babylonia and eat each other there. Yeah, it has to be clarified. But are we saying that women should not go to university? No. We are saying, let us have a society structured for purpose. What stops a woman from going to university while she is married at the same time? Chinomutadzisa mukadzi chi kuenda kuchikoro iye akaroorwa panguva imwe anotadziswa nei? Now, most of our daughters are using these degrees to dishonor their husbands. I can live alone, I can pay my bills, I can take care of myself. I don't need you. Don't tell me what to do. I don't want to be controlled. So the family must empower our children that they do not rebel against the structures of God, but that they become useful. I want to submit to you that it's better if your child finds someone who wants to marry her. If she gets into the legal age, let her go. If you are a father, you should raise your children with a lot of teaching and coaching so that she doesn't bring a scoundrel and say, this is the man who wants to marry me. If you raise a scoundrel of a daughter, you also need to create marriage insurance even before your daughter is married. Because the argument about her needing university degree in case she gets divorced, it's insurance. What kind of a father are you who insures the future marriage of your daughter? Who gave you that right? Train your daughter not to date scoundrels. She is going to meet a decent boy who comes from a decent family, who knows how to treat a woman, who knows how to work hard and take care of his family, who is responsible, who will not run away from your daughter as soon as he sees another girl with some beautiful breasts on her chest, and then he runs away. Kwasha akatiza, akakwira train, akaona musikana anga ine mazama ari pachena anga akati mai gotsi papata shasha ina uzombodzoka. Unovapedza here vanhu vakanaka havapere. Inga chikafu chaicho unopuwa buffet asi unosiya mamwe mabowels uchiti ndinozoita nhururu ndikarutsa pane vanhu. Chiregai ningopakura zvandinokwanisa. So instead of ensuring the marriages of our children, giving or providing insurance, why not raise decent daughters? Why not raise them in the fear of God? Why not raise them that they are themselves grounded in virtue? That way they won't say yes to every Tom and Jerry. When they bring a boyfriend, they bring a proper son who will honor you by doing the right things. My son-in-law is a decent man. He won't harass my daughter. He will come back home all the time. That is the right insurance for the marriage. Proper, decent upbringing and the fear of God. That's enough. God is your guarantee for a lasting marriage and not your education. Education, which is prostituted, I must say our education is prostituted. It hasn't helped Africa in many cases. We are actually a victim of our educational systems in Africa. Other countries with different education systems have gone far, far ahead of us. Places like Japan, they don't use the education system we have. Places like China, places like South Korea, they are raising better sons and daughters because they have a better education system. So believing that a degree is going to give you everything you need in life is not true now. Vanhu varikutsukira vachirwira mabhasikoro ari kugoyiwa nezano. Vazhinji vavo vane madegree. Vari kurwira bhasikoro riri kudonetwa nemusangano. All right. So when a woman is able to get married, let her go. Let the man have enough space to decide what he wants to do with his family. What does it help you that you send your daughter to university and she never uses that degree for the rest of her life? Why are you wasting resources? Ipa pane danga remombe chaira hauna. You see the problem? Yes. But if in the meantime nobody wants to marry her, of course she can go to university. We are saying, do not stop her from getting married. We are not saying stop her from going to university. If it happens, auya anoda kumuroora, ngaaende kumurume wake. Just make sure to murume wacho munhu kwaye chete. Because it's the job of a father to make sure that he doesn't release his daughter to a scoundrel. A father can say to his daughter, this boy will not marry you. I don't trust him. Mira kuye mumwe futi uye haite baba. Ndewa ndoda handisi kurara. Ndakapinda nezuro muchiridza ngono napa enda uda kunyepa. Handiti mumba mangu mauri kurara umu. Uda kunyeperani kuti hausi kurara. Airidza ngono mumakonzo. Iti unara pasaidi pako hausi kurara here iwe. Inda uchida kuti nyepera uda hausi kurara chii. You are sleeping. Were they rats that were snoring last night? We heard snores from your room. You were asleep, now you are lying that you are not sleeping. So, tikazozvara vana tachembera, tinozvara vanhu vakarineta kudhara, asati atombokwesha mazino pasingi, anenge akutoshaman'ai. Apa abva mukumuka ipapo ipapo. Madhiniwe. Pana